Well, let's get some opinion from the DUP. I'm going to go now to Ian Paisley, the DUP MP for North Antrim. Ian, good evening.
Good evening, Nigel. It's wonderful to talk to you. You're really great, my old friend. How are you?
Well, I'm well, but I'm completely and utterly confused. You guys are in a really powerful position. This government can't survive without your support after the somewhat botched from the Tory perspective election earlier this year. So they need your support to stay in government. And the bit, Ian, I don't get is how could the Prime Minister have been about to sign something that would have changed Northern Ireland's status without even talking to you guys?
Well, I think we need to do, I think it is important that we do put some flesh on the bones, because there is an awful lot of spin and dirt and dirty tactics going on. And I think that it's important to clear the air on some of that. To be fair, I know you have your differences with the Prime Minister, but to be fair,
just a bit.
Prime Minister, the Prime Minister did hold the line today, and I've no doubt that there were officials, that there were people from Dublin overplaying their hand and trying to exert muscle and control, and they failed. And they failed for a number of reasons. They failed, first of all, because we are holding a very, very strong hand, and we are holding a very strong line. But we also, as you will know, Nigel, Ulster men and Ulster women demonstrate their mettle today. We do not believe in knee-jerk reactions, in quick negotiations, and we're not pushover unionists. We believe in taking our time and getting it right, because one thing's going to be clear. When we leave the European Union on that glorious day, every single constituent part of the United Kingdom is leaving on the same terms and the same conditions. There's not going to be a difference between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK, because that would weaken the entirety of the Union. Scotland would clamour for the same arrangement. Wales, parts of London.
Of course.
A complete mess. It would be a spaghetti.
It would be a disaster. But I mean, you know, you mentioned the Prime Minister, and perhaps you've got some more time for her than I have. But I mean, did you think, Ian, when you were campaigning and you and I shared platforms in that referendum, did you think that as a result of us voting to leave, we'd finish up paying a leaving bill of nearly £50 billion?
Well, we haven't got all of the detail of that yet. I'm prepared to wait until the end of the negotiations before I cast judgment. Now you're doing a brilliant job, Nigel, in terms of exposing and keeping pressure on them at that end. You'll know that my job politically is to make sure that, let's see where this negotiation goes. Let's put down our red lines privately as well. Let's work on issues and put on our influence and try and assert that influence behind the scenes. And then when the final deal comes, let's look at it. Now, I agree with you, and I agree with the other position. People do not want to pay any more than is due to the EU. But if there is something that we need to pay that is fair and reasonable and accounts for what we do actually owe, then I'm up for a discussion on that. I'm up for a fair deal, because in any divorce arrangement, there's always going to be some things which you don't like, but at the end of the day, we are leaving, and we're going to leave on the best terms to the United Kingdom. Well, I've got a very good view on this. If we don't get a good deal, Nigel, we leave and we go for WTO. That's my position. That's the position I've had for a long time, and that's where we need to be. But if that's where we need to be if this does not work out. But I'm prepared to go with these negotiations and try and get us the best deal. And remember, we've been in negotiations before. I often joke, I negotiated with the IRA and got them to support the police. That was a pretty good result. Now, I think we can negotiate with these European people and get a good result for the United Kingdom also.
Does there come a point, Ian Paisley, does there come a point where the DUP can no longer continue to support this government?
You're kicking the ball too far down the line. That's unfair for me to answer that at this point. I think we have made it very clear that we support this government on a number of reasons. One, we want to have stability for the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We want to make sure that there's a political certainty for people going forward with Brexit. And we believe that, therefore, we will support the government in those terms. If the government backtracks on our agreement, on the principles that we believe we have established with them, that'll be a matter for them, and there's consequences. And I don't need to spell out those consequences. In fact, you know something, Nigel? It's better that it's never actually said.
Okay, and Ian, finally, a great day for the DUP, in your opinion?
It's always a great day for the DUP, because we are the party of the people. But now, I just say this before it is finally. I want to publicly thank you for your revolutionary leadership of this nation over Brexit. We shared platforms. You were the unpopular guy. You had to take the brickbats, and we got there. We had a great victory, and we're going to get this over the line. And I want to thank you for the.
Well, that's kind of you, Ian. But that's kind of you. But I'm going to keep all the pressure up I can, because I want the Brexit we voted for. Ian Paisley, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Thank you.